Welcome to QAnon-News.com, the latest buzz with your favorite host, Todd Pole. Grab some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to QAnon-News.com, a tribute to 9/11. First thing is first, let's take a moment of silence. Some will claim conspiracy, but I want to bring about a couple of clips of what some individuals have stated in the past. The first statement is from Nancy Pelosi.
Why did you oppose impeachment in the past? And what is your obligation to protect our democracy from the actions of our president now?
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up the question about, because when I became Speaker the first time, there was overwhelming call for me to impeach President Bush on the strength of the war in Iraq, which I vehemently opposed. And again, I said it other places. That was my wheelhouse. I was intelligence. I was the ranking member on the Intelligence Committee, even before I became part of the leadership of Gang of Four. So I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq.
Rewind.
So I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq.
Rewind.
So I knew there were no nuclear weapons in Iraq. It just wasn't there.
We have President Trump calling in on the line. Mr. Trump, a lot of people seem to think that these towers did not just go down by airplanes. What seems to be your take on that, sir?
Well, it was an architectural defect. You know, the World Trade Center was always known as a very, very strong building. Don't forget, that took a big bomb in the basement. Now, the basement is the most vulnerable place because that's your foundation. And it withstood that. And I got to see that area about 3 or 4 days after it took place because one of my structural engineers actually took me for a tour because he did the building. And I said, I can't believe it. The building was standing solid and half of the columns were blown out. I mean, so this was an unbelievably powerful building. If you know anything about structure, it was one of the first buildings that was built from the outside. The steel, the reason the World Trade Center had such narrow windows is that in between all the windows, you had the steel on the outside. So you had the steel on the outside of the building. That's why when I first looked, and you had big, heavy I-beams, when I first looked at it, I couldn't believe it because there was a hole in the steel. And this is steel that was, you remember the width of the windows in the World Trade Center, folks. I think you know, if you were ever up there, they were quite narrow. And in between was this heavy steel. I said, how could a plane, even a 767 or 747 or whatever it might have been, how could it possibly go through the steel? I happen to think that they had not only a plane, but they had bombs that exploded almost simultaneously.
Speaking of bombs, Bush had also mentioned explosives. As
soon as Congress acts on this bill, the men our intelligence agencies believed helped orchestrate the 9/11 attacks can face justice. The bill would also provide clear rules for our personnel involved in detaining and questioning captured terrorists. The information that the Central Intelligence Agency has obtained by questioning men like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has provided valuable information and has helped disrupt terrorist plots, including strikes within the United States. For example, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed described the design of planned attacks on buildings inside the U.S. and how operatives were directed to carry them out. That is valuable information for those of us who have the responsibility to protect the American people. He told us the operatives have been instructed to ensure that the explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.
Rewind.
The explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.
Rewind.
The explosives went off at a point that was high enough to prevent people trapped above from escaping.
Bush was teaching school children the day of 9/11. Let's take a look.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready.
Kid.
Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
Sound it out. Get ready.
Kid.
What word?
Kid.
Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready.
Seal.
What word?
Seal.
Read these words the fast way. Get ready.
Plain.
Yes, plain. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready.
Kite.
Yes, kite. Get ready.
Kit.
Yes, kit. Get ready.
Seal.
Yes, steel. Get ready.
Plain.
Yes, plain. Get ready.
Must.
Yes, must. Go to your speaker reader up.
Very interesting choice of words, not to mention the photo we are looking at. Artist Patrina Ryan Clyde, who has designed this sexy photo of Bill Clinton, also claims that she did not know that it was hanging in Epstein's mansion. This same woman also designed this painting of Bush flying paper planes with blocks falling down, giving a reference of the trade towers in 9/11. Next up, the following footage was obtained by CBS News.
Donald Trump is doubling down on claims he made over the weekend that he saw thousands of Muslim Americans in New Jersey celebrating after the September 11th terror attacks.
I said that I saw in parts of New Jersey, Jersey City, but parts of New Jersey, I saw people getting together and in fairly large numbers celebrating as the World Trade Center was coming down, killing thousands of people, thousands and thousands of people. People are still dying over what happened to the World Trade Center.
Ilhan Omar seems to know exactly what has been going on.
CARE was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Some people did something. I wonder how she really feels about Americans.
I remember when I was in college, I took a terrorism class, and
is that a such thing?
Yeah, there was.
So you go out, there is a lab for that?
There was a class that you.
Do you go to a lab?
No,
you go out a field trip.
We learned the ideology of.
I'm glad you do that.
And so it was the thing that was interesting in the class was every time the professor said Al Qaeda, he sort of like his shoulders went up, and
yeah, he's in command here.
Al Qaeda, Hezbollah.
He's an expert.
And it was,
what's his name? What put his name on the air?
Where
does he live?
Saying his name.
Yeah.
You probably get to see him on CNN.
Yeah, of course. I love those guys.
But it is that you don't say America with an intensity. You don't say England with an intensity. You don't say the army with an intensity.
Bush, terrorism, connections. This is Todd Pohl saying fuck your feelings. Don't shoot the messenger. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed the show.